I know sometimes life can be tough, and you feel like you just had enough. When you're thinking everything is gone wrong, just remember that I'm here to cheer you on. Yeah, I wanna pick you up from the ground, let you know that I'm always around. 'Cause I know we can make it, yes we can make it if we try. Keep on trying.
You got it.
I believe in you.
You got it.
I know you got this.
You got it.
Just keep on trying.
You got it.
There's been a lot of bumps in the road. Oh yeah. Always carrying that oh so heavy load. When you feel like there's too much on your plate, just call on me.
Call on me.
And I'll help you carry some of that weight. I wanna make you understand, let you know that there's always a helping hand. 'Cause I know we can make it, yeah we can make it if we try. Yes we can make it if we try. Keep on trying.
Got it.
You're gonna make it.
Got it.
I believe in you.
Got it.
Trying. Keep on trying, girl.
Got it.
You're gonna make it.
Got it.
'Cause I believe in you. Yeah. Just keep on trying. Got to keep on trying. Oh, baby, I believe in you. Just keep on trying. Everything will be alright, my baby.
Well, so I see one person came in. I hate to get started when there's not a crowd, and I don't usually draw a crowd, so I don't know what to do, but let's go ahead and hello and welcome. If you're watching on replay, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being here live. It's good to have a conversation, and we are going to talk about enabling someone who's got and really not just a problem with drugs or alcohol, but a problem, right? So, and I am going to talk about Brittany J. If you're in this community of, go back over here. If you're in the community that is drama or whatever, drama, true crime, whatever it is, there's a creator who claims that she's not on substances of any kind, not even recovery drugs, but people are accusing her of being on something. Like, look, for me, if you're not on something, you don't act that way, and you need to have you need to figure out what's going on in your life. But I'm not here to bash Brittany. I'm here to talk about how to help people like that. So we're going to be using her as an example. We're going to be talking about what's going on a little bit, but really we're going to be talking about how to help somebody without enabling them. You don't want to be giving someone money, views. Every time you watch somebody, you're giving them views, and you're in their chat, and you're building them up, and you're doing all this stuff, and you are causing them to keep doing the same behaviors. So I'm not here to bash her. We're going to talk about the difference in, well, I'm going to tell you right now, the difference in denial and lying, because I feel like I've been lied to a lot on that channel. But denial is not accepting that you have a problem. It's just going, nothing's going on, blah, blah. And lying is when you don't tell others the truth. So if you say, I'm not doing anything, it's all them, those people, all that stuff. That's those people, right? You're playing into it. If you don't have a problem with drugs or alcohol, please, I beg you, go see a doctor. I'm talking to you right now, Brittany. Like I said, I'm not going to talk trash on you because I feel like you have way too many people doing that. And let me just say, when I first, I used to be friends with Brittany, and then I did reach out to her recently, and I said, look, I'm afraid for you. This was after the alcohol live stream with the gun and all that. And I said, I'm afraid for you because we saw a DV report that should never have made it to YouTube, but we did see that. We heard it, read it, whatever. And I feel afraid for you. I feel really, really, really bad for your boys. And they're not only waking you up from sleeping. Maybe call this an intervention because I didn't really mean to talk so directly to Brittany. But if your boys are having to wake you up and then you're talking with them right there and saying, I wasn't asleep, that's hard on your boys. And I have empathy for them because while I didn't have a parent who was abusing drugs or alcohol or nodding off on the internet, because we didn't have the internet when I was not till I got in college. I went back to college when I was in my 40s or 30s, late 30s. And so everything you do right now is everything negative that those boys feel, whether it's the CPS coming, which I don't think they're mean. I think they're pretty nice to the kids, but all that stuff is going into their minds, and they're going to be adults someday. And I'm 64 years old and I've still got trauma from my parents fighting and the cuss words and the 2 weeks of them not speaking to each other while living in the same house and the constant putting me down, putting everybody in the world down. I have low self-esteem and I have yet to be able to get over it, even at my age. So see, there's one person in here. I appreciate you watching. And so, like I said, there's plenty of people bashing Brittany. I'm not here to bash Brittany. I'm trying to get her to get some help. And I'm going to cover here in a minute how you can stop enabling her. Don't enable, like if you're, even the people going against her and accusing her of, like Perplexed Laura said, I know she's on pills. She blah, blah. Well, no, you don't know that for a fact. I think it's more likely recovery medication, but I don't know that. I don't know that because I'm not there. But there's obviously something going on with your health, Brittany, and please get some help. If you're not taking any kind of medications, why do you go get drug screens every month? You said it. You said you had a stack of them or a drawer full or something. And your boyfriend, Craigie, he said you get urine. Well, one time you said you get a drug test every month. And I started to look like, why would a person get a drug test every month if they're not being prescribed any kind of pain meds or anything? They wouldn't. Or recovery drugs. You would also get those for recovery drugs to make sure you're not doing the real thing half the month and then coming in there. So yeah, there's no other reason you would get a drug screen every month. I've had one drug screen at a kind of a job. It was a volunteer thing, but they drug screen because it was at a hospital, and another drug screen at a doctor randomly did it to me. I guess I was acting weird. I don't know, but I'm always upfront about the medications I take. Hey, whoever's in here watching, could you just like say hey or something? I don't know. Nobody's coming in this morning, and that's cool. Can you hear me? Because I mean, what if you can't hear me? That would be horrible. So again, I'm not here to bash Brittany. I'm here to talk to the community that is bashing her, and also to be part of the solution and not the problem. Brittany the other day, because I felt like what that's the right thing to do, is to reach out and say, you know, I'm afraid for you. I'm worried about you. I didn't talk about the drug use or possible drug use or any of that. And I'm concerned, you know, please can't you, you know, go get the boys and go to your dad or something. Excuse me. And she said, you know, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Don't, you know, I wish people would leave me alone or whatever. And then I followed that up, and I don't think she's even read it. So my conscience is clear as far as, you know, not enabling and trying to reach out and make you I can't make anybody get help, but my conscience is clear because I, you know, reached out. And if anything worse happens to this family, I mean, it's obviously not my fault. There are people though who are just don't give them a platform. I mean, just playing Craig over and over. The things that he's saying in the background are horrible. So that's my next thing. I stopped drinking. It's been 99 days ago. 99 days. I'm just trying to let you in on me. Okay. So in 1993-ish, 3, me and my boyfriend, fiance, who became a fiance, we were doing a lot of cocaine, a whole lot of cocaine. And so much so that I quit a really good job to stay home because he had lost his job. And I didn't want to go to my job. So I just quit. Very, very good job. That was the impact of that on my life. And, you know, some financial issues and things like that. And so in 1994, after I said, get the F out of my house and stopped, you know, no more, I saw someone, I met someone, and she was like a social worker, and she said, I'll work with you, but you have to go to AA. And I was like, I'm not an alcoholic. I did drink some, but I wasn't like, I'm not an alcoholic. I did quit drinking 99 days ago today, because I feel like I got to get my health in order, and I was drinking too often. And, but I'm not here to talk about that as much as to say is this is, you know, I did AA for 6.5 years. I was clean and sober, then gradually started back smoking marijuana. And now I'm on medical marijuana, no alcohol. And I'll see my doctor annual visit tomorrow, and going to share with him what's happening with me, and probably go on another antidepressant. But anyway, so, you know, what's happening is people are piling on, and they're calling her nasty names, and they're saying that she's definitely doing this or definitely doing that. And that's not the case. I think that the thing is that you don't know what somebody's doing because you can't diagnose someone over the internet, but your behaviors can show. Like if I was sitting here mid-sentence, let's start again. You know, mid-sentence, just, and then somebody in the background. And let me just say this, Brittany, your boyfriend is the most disrespectful person. He trolls you when you're live. He sits back there, goes live, and then claps to wake you up on the internet for everybody to see. It's ridiculous. you're doing this to yourself, and you're saying that, they're doing this to me. No, you have to be the bigger person and get a grip on whatever is going on with you. They're not going to stop. They're going to go to Rumble, they're going to go to Kick, they're going to go to instead of streaming you live, they're going to stream you, after your live. It's really gotten out of hand. It's kind of ridiculous. And I don't know why everybody's not sick of it. I was worried about you, Brittany, but I'm not so much like gonna pounce on you. I just think you need help, and I wish you would get help, please. But now let's just go ahead and move on to what I want to talk about. So, about enabling. Oops, that's not the one we want. We want this one. So I've got a checklist here. And this is for someone in denial about addiction or drug abuse or just fucking up, right? Your life is really a mess and something needs to happen. And you can sit there all day and say everything's fine. Nobody's, this and that. And it's not. So learn about addiction and denial. Again, denial is not accepting you have that's lying to yourself. Denial. If you're doing the things that you're doing, like if you're nodding off mid-sentence and then coming back when a commercial plays because you don't pay for StreamYard. Is that why you don't pay for StreamYard? So those commercials will wake you up when Craigie's not around? Because he didn't used to be around all the time. And so you're in denial. Whatever's going on over there, you're in denial, completely in denial. And that means you're lying to yourself and you're lying to everybody else. And that's why I quit. I wasn't supporting Brittany so much as we were friends 3 or 4 years ago, right? And I started watching again when the lawsuit, the RICO got filed. I started watching again. And so I was like, well, hold on a second. The RICO, I started watching again. And then you've just gone downhill since then. And I watch and I'm like, you lied to me, not just recently saying you're fine, because in your mind, you may think you're fine. I mean, you may think you're fine, but the lies on, when you fall asleep and you say you weren't asleep, like everybody knows you're asleep. A lot of times you're asleep without the camera on and we know you're asleep. Okay. So you're in denial. You're in denial and you're lying to people. And that's why your mods leave. That's why people leave, because they're upset. Like, you can only take so much of this crap, especially from somebody who you're trying to care for. So you got to set boundaries so you don't get pulled into unhealthy patterns. I think that there's a lot of people I've seen comments from people that they can't take this drama anymore. I can't do the back and forth either. I can't do it. I don't know how, Brittany, I don't know how you're even holding up for this, because it's gotten so intense. You've got so many people going at you. That's why I'm not like going at you, but I'm speaking my truth because I want to help other people and I want to help. I want to help you, but you don't want any help. But there's going to be somebody in these people's lives in the future who does need help. Maybe right now they've got a partner. Maybe you've got a friend or a partner or another YouTuber or even Brittany, and you want to help them. You're not helping them by participating in chat, taking up for her, lying for her, giving her money all the time. Don't do it. It's not going to help you. So when you do approach somebody, you want to communicate with I statements. I'm worried about you versus you're ruining everything. Choose a calm, private time to talk. Not in the middle of it. Like, so you don't want to go in the middle of a live stream and go, you're so stupid. Or when they're under the influence. if somebody's your friend and they're having a problem, you want to go to them and speak honestly and don't shame them. Just go and like be kind to people. Be kind to your friend and say, look, I know she's got a problem. Let me approach this with empathy and caring. So yeah, calm, private time to talk. Don't go in there during a live stream and say, you're on drugs, because that's not going to get you it's not going to help them and it's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to keep all the chaos, like all the chaos going. Don't cover for the problem. When somebody falls asleep online, when they say they need money to pay for this or that, oh, I need money for an attorney. And boyfriend's back there saying, well, I got plenty of money. I got all the money. I got plenty of money. Well, do you? Then why are we being asked to send money for an attorney? I mean, it's like the Natasha Cooper stuff. Everybody, if you don't know who that is, I mean, I used to cover her, and she had a lawyer fund, never had a lawyer, a $20,000 lawyer, threatening to go after everybody on the internet. Well, that never happened. Lots of people were calling Brittany like the Natasha Jr. Okay. Let someone face their own consequences, like facing reality. Don't let natural consequences happen. This is often what helps someone face reality. Until you hit your bottom or you hit a point to where you've got to stop whatever you're doing, that person's not going to change. And as long as people are supporting that behavior, that bad behavior, it's going to continue. So if I was coming on here every day and, falling asleep every other minute, like I was listening last night and Brittany was falling asleep. I don't know if you're here, Brittany. I doubt it. I know there's a lot of other people live doing drama. But I was listening last night, and between the taking care of the kids, which I totally understand, but the when you start falling asleep or nodding off or whatever it is, it's really like, I don't get why people want to come in there and buy 20 memberships or why do people want to be a member of that? Why do you want to partake in that? Just because it's a good place to go and chat, you enjoy that. So yeah, the more you give excuses and the more you send money, you're just putting money after bad. You're putting money. It's like the worst creators get the most money. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Now I'm not monetized or anything. So, I'm not even, if you want to send money, you could, but I'm not monetized or anything. So don't cover up the problem, let natural consequences happen and say no. Like if you're on a panel with somebody and they keep falling asleep and are you okay? Are you okay? That's enabling. That's allowing that person to have bad behavior. Falling asleep on a live stream or nodding off on a live stream is bad behavior. It's showing people that you don't have enough, that you don't care enough about them to go live and not, just fall asleep. Let them know you care and you're not going to give up on them. But that doesn't mean you stay in there and lie for them. Oh, she wasn't asleep. She's not falling asleep. She said I'll be right back. No, she's falling asleep. She's falling asleep. Sometimes it takes hearing those things from your friends, like the people who were in there, who were friends with someone. stop enabling that. And maybe you're the one who needs to take the stand. Maybe you're the one who will get her attention. So you let them know, and you care, and you won't give up, and you encourage treatment, counseling, or support groups, but don't force it. Has anybody ever watched what is that addiction show? It's on, anyway, it's where they do the interventions and stuff. And the people, like, the denial of the people who are on, they can come in there effed up to the hilt, and they can come in there for the family meeting, and they can literally be about to pass out. I don't have a problem. Well, you do have a problem. You do have a problem. And there are support groups. There's NA, there's AA, there's counseling, there's doctors, there's all these things that you can get help with. Yeah. So do that. So share resources. I should have that handy. But if you're having a problem right now or any other time, you can call or text 988 to get help. There are AA meetings, NA meetings. I went to AA. I didn't have a problem with alcohol at that point. I have had a problem with alcohol off and on in my life. I stopped it 99 days ago because I just didn't want any. Like, I didn't want it, and I want to be healthy, and I want to let my depression medication work because I'm very depressed and I have chronic pain. I'm in like total pain right now. But I went to AA, not NA, because there was lots of AA meetings and not a lot of NA back then. That was years ago. And I think you can even do these meetings online now. There's places that you can do these meetings. So you let them know you care, encourage treatment, counseling, share resources, all those things. You have to protect your own well-being, okay? Connect with others who understand, Al-Anon, Nar-Anon, or therapy. If you're worried about somebody else and you're staying up late to make sure they're okay, to sit with them on panel or anything, that's behavior that's detrimental to you. So you want to take care of yourself, your own mental health and physical health. Again, if you're going around your life to take up for somebody else who's using or having a problem, yeah, you want to make sure that you're not getting yourself run down or neglecting your own issues, because we all have issues. Remember, you didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. None of those things are going to happen. Somebody came in just now. I'm not like, nobody's really coming in. I see somebody came in. If you would let me know that you can hear me. I've been talking for 30 minutes. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear me. Not getting any views. That's cool. I don't get views when I go live because I built my channel on shorts, and they don't convert over to live streaming. As far as, oh, you've got 30,000 subs, but nobody comes in. That's okay. I still want to have my say. The enabling that's going on is ridiculous. The games that are being played, the behaviors that are happening, it's all really crazy. I want to help people in the community, but it's not my job. It's not your job to make her go get help. It's not your job to push another creator over the edge, because look, if I was in Brittany's situation with everybody, now I would have backed off. I would just be like, I can't do the back and forth. I literally can't do it. So, my self-esteem, my trauma that I've experienced and all these things, I can't do it. I have felt sorry for you, Brittany, because I feel like you have been ganged up on. And even when I asked a question one day about you using saying Jesus and God all the time in a in a cursing kind of way, using the Lord's name in vain. And you just went off on me. Like I understand that that's what people do when they're in the middle of an issue and they go off. But look, I came in there one time and I asked you, because you were talking about you just had a drug screen and you could show everybody. And I said, this months ago, I said, well, why did you do a drug test? And you said, because I asked for it. But I had heard you say that you do them every month. And they're like, again, I was saying earlier, nobody goes and gets a drug screen every month. Unless you're either on maintenance drugs or currently prescribed mind altering medication. You just don't. Nobody does that. Now, maybe for a job, maybe if you had like a job I don't think they even test truck drivers every month. Sports players get tested, but I'm a big WNBA fan. They get drug screen like up to 3 times a season. So that's, once a month, but that's for, professional sports. That's different. There's no reason for a person who's not employed at for a corporation or some kind of dangerous job that you're getting drug screened every month. And you can continue to say that you're not on any substances, and that's fine. You can say that because that's what people who are on things say. And I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what you're on. Laura Perplex says you're definitely on pills. Well, I don't know that Laura can say that. But at the same time, addicts know addicts. And like I'm saying is like I'm not currently, like I wouldn't call myself an addict. I do use medical marijuana. My doctor's fully aware of it. I was prescribed opioids for about 3 or 4 years. A few years back, like I haven't been on them, I don't think since I moved here 6 years ago. I was taking them. I was still in pain. I stopped, weaned off of them. I never got like high off of those kind of pills anyway, but I was legitimately on them. That was before they got like right when I started getting off of them, they were getting more and more restrictive. I used to have to go to my doctor every month to get a handwritten script for my opioids. Okay. I didn't even like them, but I have severe spinal issues. I say severe, that's a word that was in my MRI 3 or 4 times for my neck. Severe, severe, severe. I'm in so much pain sitting here right now that but I want to do this. I still want to have my channel, right? I'm retired. I'm a former coke. Like I had grand mal seizures when I was doing cocaine, right? We would take whatever pills we could get. Somebody had a pill, we took it, didn't even know. I've done some stupid shit in my life. And am I paying for that now? I'm sure I am. I'm sure that didn't help my depression and anxiety that I put those things in my body. My brain probably is damaged from having grand mal seizures, right? So I'm not a sweet, innocent person over here who's never done anything, who's never lied about being on. My sister claimed that after I got clean and sober back in 94, that they tried to get me to stop. I honestly don't recall that. Now, and she's a big gaslighter, so I don't know. But I didn't, I don't recall it. It's possible that somebody who's using doesn't really even, understand what's going on. Um, you have to think about a lot of these things. I felt like, I wanted to help Brittany because I felt like too many people were piling up on her. Um, and I didn't like that. I felt bad when they were doing that to Granny, right? I feel bad anytime you're getting piled up on. That's why this isn't a pile up. This is to stop you, to try to get your enablers to stop, or to train, to teach people that you're not helping when you're enabling. You're hurting that person. And it's all fun and games. Everybody's playing on the internet and they're making a lot of money off of going at Brittany. And there's a lot to go at. I could do the same thing. I used to review Natasha. This is a lot more exciting than that. I could do the stuff with Brittany, have a big game of it. It's easy. You click on your thing, you pull up the live stream, and you start laughing and talking about the things Craig's saying in the background, the way he plays his music so loud, it's distracting. And I feel sorry for you, Brittany. I feel sorry for you because you're in a messed up situation. But I don't feel so sorry for you that I'm not going to, call this out and say that I think you need help. Again, if you're not using drugs, recovery drugs, or an active prescription for whatever, I mean, the nodding off ensures you're not taking something like Adderall or, it could be a lot of different things. It could be maintenance drugs. But you're doing a disservice to people who care about you when you fall asleep all the time. And why they're not going at you, I don't know. Why they'll continue to leave. People don't want to listen to all the negativity. The negativity brings you down, and nobody wants to hear that all the time. I think a lot of your viewers are laughing at you, and the rest of them are people who are just dependent on that group setting, that, parasocial relationship, and having a place to go in and chat, because that's a lot of what these drama streams, krama, whatever it's called, a lot of that are the chatters. It's people in chat, and and I'm not saying I've never done it. I've been there. This shit's funny. It's funny until you think about the seriousness of it, and you worry about the children involved, and you worry about, is something really going to happen? And I'm sitting here laughing about it, and this person's going to possibly end up, lots of things could happen. You've got somebody drinking, popping their beer can and bragging about it. It's talking about their bone, how big their bone is, and showing their gun on live stream. And that's not getting, like, how are you ever going to go back to true crime, Brittany? You can't do true crime with Craig sitting there. And those kids, all they hear about, and yeah, I'm not talking about your kids. Like, hey, Jane Doe, good morning. I'm glad somebody came in. Thank you. Good morning, Barb. I agree with what you're talking about. The parasocial relationship she has resulted in enabling her supports. She relies so much on being liked by others and uses that. Yeah, it's fun to be liked. I used to have fun live streams. I had, to me, a lot of people were in there, and it was fun. And I was making fun of another creator, and we laughed and we cut up, and people commented, and it was, hey, Nat, how about those Tennessee volunteers? Y'all won, right? We won. Arkansas won. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't really want this to be about Brittany, but I mean, I guess that's what's on my mind and what's going on over there. And I appreciate y'all coming in. Go Vols. If you're just coming in, we've been going over this enabling. I say this is for, enabling, whether it's an addiction or even a behavior. If somebody's behaving in a, terrible way, um, you, you don't want them to continue doing that, right? Um, the things that could go wrong, CPS comes out and you're bragging because they cleared you immediately, which I don't think that's going on. Um, the boys, I just worry so much. I just have so much empathy for children when, like I said, a lot of my issues now go back to when I was a child. And you might say, well, Barb, why didn't you get over that? You're 64. I don't know. I went to therapy. I've been to therapy. I just have a lot of issues over my, childhood stuff. And I've never been able to, get to a place where it doesn't bother me anymore because it bothers my self-esteem. It bothers my confidence. And then I go out, coming off of my childhood, I go out and I, drop out of college and everything and did okay. I mean, had a good job and everything. And then went back to college and then here I find myself all these years later, and I was drinking too much, too often, more than too much. But okay, that's too much because as a user of substances, it's often easy to downplay, like, I don't drink that much. Well, I didn't really, but it was enough that I thought I needed to stop. Yeah, it is, Nat. It is. It is so real. And if you're in a home where your parent is going online and saying all these things about, well, they're saying my kids are ugly. Well, your kids are right there listening. So that's why your kid comes in there and says something about the haters because they know, because they hear you. I mean, your house isn't that big. My house is very small. You can hear what's going on. Missing children. That stuff doesn't need to be talked about in front of kids. Dismembering, just all the stuff that these kids are hearing. I'll tell you a little story. When I was a kid, back in this would have been early 70s. They used to have those movies of the week. Do y'all remember those? Anybody here old enough to remember the movies of the week? Now we got a movie on. You can go stream pretty much anything you want to watch. You might have to pay for it, but we had like a movie of the week. And the movie of the week that week was a person. Now I don't know all the details. I just remember they were buried alive. There was a tube that was put up so that they could breathe, and they were buried alive I don't remember, was it a ransom? It was something, but just the idea that I still think about. And so, 50 years later, whatever, I still think about that. And granted, times have changed and kids they're inundated. They've got the internet. We didn't have that. Everybody's got their information overload. It's no wonder that the generation, we don't get the current generation because we didn't grow up with a phone in our hand. We didn't grow up with a laptop. We didn't grow up with video games. The first video game was that thing, was it Pong or something? It was like the ping pong ball. Boop, 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 boop. I had that. And now you've got games where you can shoot them up and do all this stuff. So, Atari. Yeah, I don't even think I had Atari. I think it was less than Atari. This was like a game that you plugged into your TV and all it was like a ping pong ball going across. So does anybody that's listening, again, I don't have that many people in here. Do you have anything to say about what's going on or the enabling? Hey, Champy. Oh, I got 2 dogs wanting my attention. Nintendo was your first game. I ended up getting a Nintendo when I was with that guy when we were doing cocaine and stuff. We got one of those. I think it was Nintendo. So we played that. But I've never done games since then. I mean, yeah, Galaga was my favorite, still my favorite. If I walk in somewhere and they've got a Galaga game, I don't like pinballs. That was all when I was a kid. So yeah, we need to think about each other. We need to think about what we're saying. We need to think about how much we're going to pile on a person. But Brittany, you're going to have to step back. You're going to have to do something. Oh, you do, Nat? Galaga? I love Galaga. The worm game, Jane? I don't know that. Or is that what she's saying? I don't know what y'all are saying. Galaga or Nintendo or the Galaga, like the whole machine was Galaga. Beep, 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 beep. What are you doing, Champy? Come here. Oh, these dogs, they got baths yesterday. Oh, no, we don't want that whole thing up like that. I think they know what time they want to eat, and that's when they get to eat. And I'm in the middle of one of their meal times. Galaga. I'm in the middle of one of their meal times. I appreciate y'all coming in. I don't really have anything else to say. Brittany, if you're mad at me for talking about this, I'm sorry. This is where I stand on it. I feel like people need to lay off with the it's too late. They're not going to stop going at you. They're not going to stop making fun of you. Again, you fall asleep. You nod off in the middle. Yeah, Jane, I think BJ has been under so much fire that any feedback she gets is going to be taken as an attack. She won't change until she sees what she's doing is wrong, and she doesn't. Yeah, Jane, and here's the thing with that is that why we're talking about enabling today is because as long as those people, as long as she can come on live and be mad at those people, then it just keeps it all going. And so it's hard to not stop when you're making the kind of money that people are making. I mean, they're saying that Clue's making $10,000 a month. I bet it's more than that. The most I ever made on YouTube was, I know it was 500. I think it was either 37 or 67. And then the next highest amount I would have gotten was when I lost monetization over shorts videos. But yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, as long as people keep giving her money, keep giving them money, keep playing this whole thing up, it's just going to keep on. Yeah, Nat, be glad you're not. When she gets super chats and donuts from her supporters, doesn't help either. Yeah, it doesn't help. As long as you're getting money, as long as if I could come on here every day and get paid like these creators do, well, yeah, you're going to keep coming back. You're going to keep coming back. It's fun. And when you have people coming in there supporting you and telling you how great you are and that they're bad and you're good, but your behavior sucks. And you talk to your children with your microphone on. You bring your children to the microphone to say that CPS didn't take them, that they haven't had to go anywhere. And then when CPS comes again, you get mad because they took the babies outside and they had to talk to the babies. But you brought the kids. I mean, come on. Your kids need you to be the adult and say, you don't go in their bedroom and get them and come in there and say, did you have to go live somewhere else? I mean, that happened a few months ago. And then now you're saying, oh, they had to go outside to talk to CPS and ask them all kinds of questions. Well, you're the one bringing CPS to your home. It's not those babies. It's not those babies doing that. That's on you. It's not even the person who called. Again, that's on you. If you can't keep the internet and what you're talking about, true crime, in front of babies, it's sad to me. I'm worried about the children. I fear that something's going to happen. If something doesn't majorly happen, that the trauma that they're experiencing now is going to, I don't know. It's like the generation, like if my parents, here's what my parents did when I went to bed, and we had a set bedtime. I didn't argue with it. It's time to go to bed. This is your bedtime. You go to bed. But if my parents had been sitting there in another room laughing and cutting up and, giggling and laughing and all that stuff, I would have probably wanted to go back in there. But no, they're just in there watching TV because we didn't have the internet back then. And my parents would never have done this. She's figured out how to use others for her advantage. Uh-huh. I know, Jane. What is the solution? The solution would be for Brittany to log off, get some help, get whatever's going on under control. If it's not getting enough sleep, get a schedule. Like you need to completely cut off. Craig says he's got plenty of money. Cut off for however long, a month, 2 days, 3 days. You got to start somewhere. You want to keep this up? Your health is showing, your physical appearance is showing whatever's going on with you is doing to your health. I'm 64 years old. Who looks older, me or Brittany? She's 37 or 38. I don't know. Who looks older? I'm not saying who looks better. I'm just saying, because I know I ain't the pretty girl. But I'm just saying, your health matters. Do you want to be here for those boys? Do you want to watch them? Do you want to watch them go to prom, or, like your other kids are graduating from high school and doing all these things? Do you want to be there? Do you want to be the person? Do you want to be there for them? You're modeling behavior for them. What are they going to do when they grow up? Have a YouTube channel? Yes, all that stress ages a person. It does. It just ages you a lot. As if age doesn't just happen, right? I mean, I think it was a couple years ago when I just felt my age. Like I didn't feel my age, and then I just declined. It just declined. My pain levels have just drugged me down, and so hopefully I'll get some help with that tomorrow. Not in the form of pain pills. No. Because because they didn't work for me. And all I did was, I took, as prescribed, these pain pills, and I spent a majority of time asleep. I would go to bed, I'd get up in the morning. I had dogs then too, and I would take my dogs out, and then I would go back to bed. I slept sleeping my life away. And so we only get this one life. And that's what I, realized again, like in numerous times in my life the other day. I'm just like waiting to die. I'm not living my life. I've got to do something to better my life. And the first thing I did was, okay, I was like, I don't even want to drink. Why am I, coming in here to get a drink? I did that 2 days in a row. And I was like, I'm just not going to drink anymore. Or not today. I'm not going to drink today. You don't have to even, I'm not going to use today. I'm not going to do this today. And, that's how you do it. I'm not going to go online today and talk about what they did, or pretend like I'm going to do true crime and nod off the whole time, or talk about those people who were talking about me. So they'll keep talking about me. So I'll still be the victim and I'll get the money. No, there's some problems here, and it needs to be fixed for you and for your kids. It's that simple. So I hope that if there's anybody out here that knows somebody who's, besides the internet stuff, but if you know somebody who has an issue and they're in denial, which is what addicts do, it's what people do, it's what even behavioral issues, like I said, you might not even be on drugs or maintenance drugs, but your story doesn't add up. So you need to come up with a better story, because nobody believes that story. And the people who are coming in your chat saying, she didn't fall asleep, that they're just enabling you. They just want to be part of something, and they're part of your chat right now. And they can come in and they can say that, they come in and they say they got to have surgery. Their cousin's their cousin's third stepfather has to have X, Y, and Z. And, and that's what those people need. They need a place where they can come in and feel like they're part of something. And they come in and they talk about their ailments and their this and their that. And Brittany may or may not be kind to them at the moment. But that's what the people who are still there, they need that attention. And I get it. I get that. Being a part of. I've never been like the big chatter person, so I don't typically, very rarely even say anything in a chat. But again, if you know anybody who needs help, remember you can go back. We've got this up. You can come back and review it. I can I can't put it anywhere. I don't know how to put it in my thing. But anyway, go over this checklist. Think about somebody that you know who's having a problem. Or if people are also enabling the quote haters, right? Because when they're going at Brittany and you're going in their chats and laughing it up and sending them money, you're keeping this all going too. And none of it's good for anybody. It's not healthy. It's not good for anything. Like the amount, like the one day Clue went in there and had a fundraiser and raised $8,000 and something for missing and exploited children. Let's do that kind of stuff, right? Do something good with your channel. Y'all are making a lot of money. You're making money. You're your own boss. You don't have to get up and drive to work. Some of us work, like I worked jobs where I had to be at work at a certain time and I had to stay till a certain time, even if I didn't have anything to do. Like there was no work for me to do. I've been at several jobs like that where you had to be there. And nowadays, I don't think people work like that. It's more of a come and go, and I, it's just a difference in generations. And COVID changed a lot of things. But COVID's gone. Well, it's not gone. I know people are still getting COVID, but okay, guys, I just want again, take care of yourself. And if you have friends who maybe need this, maybe you need to go through this checklist on how to stop enabling them. If you're enabling somebody on YouTube to have bad behavior, to have bad addiction problems, or they're endangering their children, or they're going at you. I can't stand lies either. If you're saying somebody's doing something as a fact and you don't know that as a fact, shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to do that in life. If you do this in real life, somebody's going to punch you or shoot you or do something to you. The things that people do online. And yeah, it's funny and ha 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 ha, but nobody's doing anything nice. Do something nice to each other. It's fun being in part of the gang, right? I don't have that. I'm a lone shark over here. I do have friends that I made on here, online here at YouTube, but we don't, we're not doing that. So anyway, take care of you, put yourself first, and then then you can help other people. Stop lying for people, stop enabling them to do something that they're going to look back on and say, what was I thinking? I'm here to attest that people do that. You go, oh, I really messed up. What was I thinking? We do dumb stuff. I've done plenty. All right, and I'm going to let y'all go. I appreciate you all for coming in. And if you're watching on replay, please give a thumbs up. And if you're watching right now, please give a thumbs up and share it out. I'd love it if y'all would share this out so that other people could at least maybe not hear me talking, but to think about what's going on and what you're doing. All right. So everybody have a great Tuesday. The rest of the day is Tuesday. And hopefully I'll see y'all sooner than later. Bye.